of the school year. So I need you guys to go ahead and take out your springboard to page 229. While you're doing that, I'm going to pass out your bookmarks for this next EA. Once you get it, put your name on it. Any extras, just pass them up front. I'll come grab them. If you've got a highlighter, you're going to want to take that out too. We're going to make some marks. All right, now on page 229, there's a question right below that big image. Looks like there's a comedy skit happening on a boardwalk. The question is asking, what makes people laugh? So I want you to write down maybe 2 or 3 sentences. What do you think makes people laugh? And you can think about what we just saw a moment ago in your response too, if you'd like. You're going to be thinking that all day today. Don't worry if you don't have a super long response. It's just getting your mindset into this idea of responses, how people laugh, why they might laugh. We're going to take a look at that unit overview, just like we've done in the past. And I want you to highlight or circle what are 2 or 3 important pieces that you think are summarizing what we're going to be doing with this next unit. So would anyone like to read the overview? Awesome. Go for it, Logan.
If laughter is truly the best medicine, and a study of challenges would not be completion that are both examinations of unique studies of unique elements of life. Overcoming challenges is often easier to do with the humorous side of life. However, finding humor is not always easy. It can be a challenge in itself. In this unit, we will learn how authors create humor and how they use humor to reveal a universal truth.
Alright, some of you are going back. You're making those marks now. I personally would probably circle that last sentence. There's a ton of information in there that's pretty much giving you the rundown of what the unit is going to be all about. Once you finish making your marks, you can go ahead and turn to page 230. And on page 230, top left corner, you're going to see that goals box, that light blue one. We're going to make a few markings in here so you can watch the screen, copy the markings that you see. First thing we're going to do is divide up the goals based on the EA that they're going to help right before. So the top 3 goals are going to be separated from the bottom 2. The top 3 are going to be specifically for the EA that we're starting to work with, EA1, and the bottom 2 will be for our second EA. And we're just going to go ahead and break apart those first 3 goals. So by the time that you're ready to work with your first EA, you should be able to analyze how authors create humor both in print and non-print text. So that means we're going to be reading, could be essays, could be anecdotes, could be short stories, but you're also going to be looking at a lot of video clips like you did a moment ago. We're going to see a lot of them during this first half of the unit. Second thing you're going to need to do and be able to before the EA is you have to analyze how humor reveals something called a universal truth. Now, we use this term universal truth as a synonym and replacement for theme. The only reason for that, we don't find themes in comedy, we find something called a universal truth. And the last goal, by the time that you're prepping for your EA, you should be able to write analyses of humorous text. So why is this text funny? Not just it makes me laugh, you're going to be using specific diction and detail to explain how the humor is present. And once you've got those marks, go ahead and turn to page 232. Nice, quick, easy breezy. So here's activity 4.1. Go ahead and just use those first two learning targets. They should look pretty familiar in terms of language and content. So we know this activity, we're going to preview the entire unit, but we're also going to analyze what's our next EA. Okay, so in that making connections box, I'm just going to have you highlight two terms in there. We're not going to read the whole piece. But both of these terms are kind of covering each half of Unit 4. So the first half is appreciating humorous text. So we're talking about essays, we're talking about short stories, we're talking about anecdotes, written jokes. But the second half of Unit 4 looks like you're taking a look at Shakespeare. Tell me, what did you guys do for 7th grade with Shakespeare? What was that? Give me a rundown. Yeah.
We performed the scenes from places.
Good, you performed the scenes from the play of it. Anything else? You're doing it again. You're going to do it with a humorous play, though. All right. Now, the two EQs that fall below, these guys we're just going to quick brief you on so you have a better understanding of how to answer them. And honestly, you probably could answer those, and if I were to grade it, you'd get A's on it. So the first question, could you read that for us, Ilya? Okay, so if you're kind of stuck with an answer, think about your favorite comedian. And maybe just spend a moment where you've heard him or her make a statement and you're like, oh, that's so true. And maybe you had it when we were watching that video clip of Flying Bees. Maybe you've been in that predicament, okay? Second EQ, read that for us, Derek.
What makes an effective performance of a Shakespearean comedy?
All right, now don't let Shakespearean comedies fool you. Just ask yourself, okay, what makes the performance effective? So maybe if you were here last year, how did you know that you did well with your Shakespeare scene? Or if you didn't do that, think about your favorite actor or actress. What is it that they do that you like? What is it that they do well? So take about like a minute and a half and go ahead and answer both questions the best that you can. Okay, we're going to take a step away from your springboard text. Don't close it because we're coming right back to it. But I want you to put your right bookmark in front of you. If you didn't put your name on it, here's an opportunity for you to go ahead and write your name on there. And I want you to look at the left-hand column on the front side of the bookmark. It says the key concepts or key terms. And I want you to find the question that asks you, what is a universal truth? Now, all of the definitions and concepts that fall right below that question, we're going to be putting definitions onto this white bookmark using this presentation instead of your springboard text. So you guys are going to see examples of these specific terms. You're going to see a few more video clips as well. So just a different way of doing this versus our springboard text, okay? Now, the first term that you folks really need to understand is this concept of a universal truth. So that's where we're going to be starting off. Here's the actual definition of universal truth, but I'll help you kind of grasp it a little better. So the actual definition states that a universal truth is a message conveyed via humorous text that teaches the audience a truth about life. Now, I mentioned earlier that universal truth is synonymous with theme. They mean identical ideas. Okay, the only issue is that for comedy, we don't try and find a theme. That's not possible, but what we try to find is something called the universal truth. So don't let the term throw you too much, just think of it like a theme. So maybe a universal truth that I would pull from that video clip that we saw, maybe something along the lines of, we all get scared sometimes. Well, that's the truth about life. That poor kid was extremely flustered when he had to stand in front of a group of kids, his peers, trying to spell moose, and all he could think was saying, Moosin! Boxing is donuts! And I'm not going to lie to you, when I saw that the first time, I thought back to my second grade teacher, Mrs. Hughes, and my spelling bee word, vacuum. For the life of me, I still can't spell vacuum correctly because I botched it so bad in that second grade spelling bee that I still can't spell it right. I can never remember if it's 2 U's or 2 M's. Can't. So I remember in second grade standing out there and everybody's watching me and I'm like, bee! Totally? Like, I had no idea. I literally lost it. So to this day, I can't spell that word. But that's my universal truth that I'm pulling from that particular comedic moment. Now, aside from universal truth, the way that we have to analyze comedy is based on something called the humorous element. So right below on your right bookmark, where that question was, you're going to see a list of terms. That final little box. That's where these humorous elements are coming in, and these are the definitions that we need to pull. So the first humorous element is the comic character and caricatures. Now, these are pretty synonymous as well, meaning the same thing. You can see comic characters as a pictorial, meaning that they're drawn. So maybe in a film strip, maybe within a comic strip in a newspaper. They can be written, so these are characters that are developed by your favorite authors that make you laugh. But they can also be acted, so in real-life film. So those are comic characters. A caricature is when something about that particular character is extremely exaggerated. And the way that they do the exaggeration makes us laugh. So the idea of that comedian we saw, his exaggeration as a comic character was the fact that he was the imbecile that couldn't spell the words correctly. Now, comic characters you see a lot in Disney films. So there's going to be a quick snapshot of an example of a comic character duo. You probably see them in the upper left corner already. But these two guys, not only are they comic characters, they're actually caricatures of the voice actors as well. All right? So you've got Mike Wazowski on the left side, and you have James P. Sullivan on the right side, right? Now, the voice actors, you may or may not know who they are, but Sully, the one on the right, is played by an actor, John Goodman. This man is literally a beast. He stands about 6'3" and weighs well over 350 pounds. He's a big guy. He's really imposing. So when the animators were trying to develop what would Sullivan look like, or what would Sully look like, they kind of took this idea of big guy, let's exaggerate it, and let's make Sullivan based off of them. Now, Mike Wazowski is played by Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal is the exact opposite. He is very short. He's a very petite, thin little man. So they took that idea of having a giant monster and compared it to having a really bitty guy. Now, granted, he's not a circle with one eyeball, but, you have to make that work with the video. Okay, now the second, kind of brain fart, the second humorous element, the comic situation. This is when characters are placed into a situation or an event that's very unlikely. They tend to become a victim, and we have a comic reaction, so we laugh at their expense. There's a lot of comic situations, again, in Disney films. And you're going to be seeing a clip from probably a Disney film that you know really well, that you've seen many times. And while you're watching it, I want you to think, why is the situation unlikely? Part of the humor lies in the fact that this is so out there, that it's so outlandish, that it's funny for us to watch it. If at any point you don't get these definitions written down, there's variations of them in your Springboard text. You could always look in there to look up the info if you don't get this in time. All right? So we're going to take a look at this particular clip. All right, so with that particular clip, what exactly was Baymax, the robot, portraying? Yeah, Max? Someone who's drunk. He's walking off saying, now, what's unlikely about that particular situation or event?
Walking around.
What do you think might be unlikely there?
I'm saying a drunk person that's saying, we jumped out of the window to your parents.
Okay, possibly bringing someone who's intoxicated home to your family. They probably would not be a fan of that. What else makes the situation unlikely? Yeah, he's robot. He's not human. I don't think we can feed robots liquor and produce those kind of results. It's just possibly not currently going to happen. Maybe will in the future. Who knows? All right, now, our next humorous element we're going to take a look at is the hyperbole. You folks know all about our hyperboles. 6th grade, 7th grade, when you did your studies of figurative language, you know what these things are. Now, granted, when you write them for particular texts, maybe they don't sound that funny, so maybe the reactions that you get aren't these huge, humorous, hysterical moments, but you're going to see an example of making a hyperbole really work and getting a serious comedic reaction, all right? So the example that you're going to see is something that you folks have probably all been a part of in your childhood. So when you see it, you're going to make that connection, hopefully, pretty quick. But again, this is a serious exaggeration. So they're taking an event, a situation, and they are blowing it out of proportion for humor, all right? So let's take a look at our hyperbole example. All right, so what was exaggerated there? I heard this really sounded like Baymax there.
Yeah.
Okay, children's games, anything else was exaggerated? Good, you have a birthday party, right? So I really doubt when you were super young, if you got to play Pin the Tail on the Donkey, that you ever thought this pin is going to be actually a weapon of mass destruction that will kill me, possibly. I also have a feeling you probably can remember first time, maybe second time you played musical chairs, and that whole, like, I have to get this chair, you're freaking out, your heart rate is going. I hated that game as a kid. It freaked me out. I was not a fan whatsoever. So again, we just took a basic, regular idea and we exaggerated it. Okay, now this is the last type of humorous element. It's called wordplay, but it's broken into 2 types. So in your bookmark, you'll see a one-liner and a pun, and both definitions are in there. These just culminate into wordplay as the element. One-liners are single-sentence jokes, and puns, I'm sure you all know, it's taking a word, replacing it with another for a humorous effect. I want to say maybe 3-4 years ago, the idea of like pun shirts was so huge with foods. Remember a few years back, kids always wearing these shirts with like pun jokes with a food item or a pencil and eraser together. I like to think of one-liners, the idea of being at a comedy club and you hear someone do that drum roll of boom bum. To me, that's the one-liner. I think of it like that. I also feel a lot of wordplay elements. You generally get a reaction that's a groan, like, oh, that was so stupid. Like just kind of funny, silly humor. All right. So here's a pun.
I get it.
Excellent. Excellent.
Nice slogan. Good for you.
Yes. You know, it's really sad when it's very quiet because the kids can't figure it out. That makes me sad.
Yes, hello.
There you go. There you go. It's okay. Some kids never get it. You should have seen my 3rd period. It was like silent as a tomb in here. Like, okay, well, you know, we do what we can. Okay? So we've taken a look at the really important terms and concepts that you've got to know to analyze comedy, but what we have to do now is actually unpack what the heck is the assignment. So look back at your Springboard text on page 232. It's about halfway down through the page, the Unpacking Embedded Assessment 1. You'll see the assignment listed there. Really simple breakdown of this guy. It's only one sentence as well, which makes it a little bit easier to tackle. Oh, no, they're watching it. That's funny.
Why do they like talking to me?
Because I'm 5 minutes ahead. Okay. So, my Masons, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So, Christian, could you actually read the assignment for us, that sentence?
Write an essay that explains how an author creates humor for effect and uses it to communicate a universal truth.
Excellent. So what are we physically being told to do? Write. We're going to write. Aha! What exactly are we writing? All right, so we'll go ahead and make those marks. And what does this essay need to contain within it? What? Yep. How the author creates humor. And the last part. There's one more component in here. Yeah. Right. We have to find how they communicate that theme or that universal truth. So once you've got those items in your bookmark, the assignment box, go ahead and write it out in your own words. Once you feel you've got the assignment written, go ahead and flip your bookmark to the back side. And you folks know the drill here. Taking a look at the exemplary column, it's on page 289. So the EA scoring guide is on page 289. I always suggest to go ahead and number the concepts or those bullet points. That way when you're writing and unpacking each concept, it makes it a little bit easier. That's up to you though. I'm going to give you folks, let's say between 6 to 7 minutes to start unpacking this particular EA and looking at those concepts. Be careful with the very first concept. There's more than one verb, there's more than one noun. It's got a lot of content within it. So take your time with that, and please do not forget that self-assessment column. Once you've got the concepts unpacked, as of today's date, the 28th, where's your comfort level? So red being you don't have a clue, yellow meaning I get it, I just need to practice, and green meaning give me the test, I got this. You guys are more than welcome to work with each other if you want to unpack it. If you want to work by yourself though too, you can do that as well. Go for it.